Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Hello. So let's get started. You're already on time. Please send a message to your group to invite all of the LCPs. The chat will be recorded, but it's really good to you to be here because you can make questions to John and etc. And will be a really good space to your development. So the next content of today is team management, as I already know, and our FAC is Jonathan. He's from Isaac in Brasilia, and now he's elected MC in Brazil. And he will introduce himself, and he will talk a little bit more about team management to us. And anything you need, or anything you have, like any doubts, you can ask. You can ask here in the chat, and I will talk to John. And you can also send me a message in WhatsApp if you have some trouble and some problem. But it's basically this. So we are going to put the presentation, and you check, and John will start to talk to you. Okay? We can wait like 3 minutes to start again, and to wait if more people is coming, etc. And then we officially start our chat. Okay?
Hello, everyone. I cannot see your messages, but I hope you can listen to me. So is everyone good with the presentation? Can you check this? Lo siento mucho, pero no puedo hablar español. Yo no sé español. Voy a hacer el chat en inglés. So, hello everyone. Well, my name is Jonathan Volpato, but you can call me John. I am your FASI for today. It's been a pleasure. Rafael invited me to have a little talk with you about team management today, and well, I hope I can try to pass some of the things that I've learned during my last year as LCP of ISAC in Brasilia. And I had a great time being in LCP. It was for sure one of the best experiences I've had till today in ISAC. Well, I'm in ISAC for like since 2012. So yeah, there has been like 5 years that I am inside the organization, and last year I had the honor to be the president of ISAC in Brasilia. And well, right now I am elected VPBD of ISAC in Brazil for the next term, and I'm super happy with this also. Um, but yeah, let's start. So basically, I need a very fast introduction from what I'm going to tried to like pass you today is trying to answer those three things and some tips in the end. How do I lead my team? Okay, I had a fuck up, how to deal with them, and try to understand a bit more about personalities and tips of your term. Well, so shall we start? The first thing about how to deal with or how do I lead my team, this is a very nice question that I had a very tough time trying to answer it in the beginning of my term, because everyone told me that being an LCP is like, yes, the best year of your life, it's amazing. And somehow I've listened to some other LCPs saying, yeah, but it's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, you're going to have a lot of challenges, you're going to have a lot of things to organize it. Well, and then for us to start to understand what is the best way to lead a team, this is my first tip for you. You have to know them in their very own personal. If you are leading with a VP that you have never worked with before, or someone that is not from your committee, that, for example, that was in my case, you need to know them. You need to get connected to them. You need to answer those questions I propose here for you. For example, what is their role in a team? What is your role as LCP? And how are you going to bring up this need of having a role? You have to understand how to make their eyes shine for something. And also, how can you light up that good anger for results? I'll give you one of examples. I had one of my VPs. He was really into results. Like one of the most ambitious person I've had in my team. But I also knew that not only with ambition you can do good during your term. I had to understand what make his eyes shine, for example. So I had to understand his values. I have to understand what were the feelings behind that VP. And to do so, you have lots of methodologies and many things you can use to try to understand a VP. But here, I'm going to show you some of the things that I used during my term. And as I just wrote here, it's an LCP's job to understand these intimate feelings from each VP. Okay, John, but I'm terrible at remembering things or memorizing stuff. I don't know. I have lots of VPs. My EB is 10 VPs, or my EB is 4, but I have this. I don't know how to do it really well. I just say, relax, youth leader. I was like this too. My EB was 10 VPs. So and I was terrible at memorizing stuff. So I created a tool to help me with it. And here is the tool. I think you know there is a sheet called DAO files, which represents all the results and approved, completed realizations with all the entities across the globe. So I created a DAO VP, which is a sheet on Excel that you can track all the things about your VP. So for example, this is my tracking, like this is my sheet about John. So I created all the things that really matter to me in terms of, okay, I need to understand more about John. I need to understand more about who is this person working with me. So I created this tool to help me memorizing those stuff. So the Enneagram values, personal quadrant, the model of the applicant when he was or she was applying for VP, LDA results, and how the LDA reflects on the sentences and all this. What are the top 3 weaknesses, the top 3 strengths, what is the role, and also a one-to-one tracking. So by using this, I had every month the date where we were supposed to have an O2O, and also what was the main learning, like in the end of the O2O. Let me just give you an example. Let's suppose I have an O2O with John in April, and then I just asks him like, okay, John, what was the main learning you had this last month? And he tells me, oh, I learned how to trust my members. Okay, this was the main learning. So I come here on the sheet and I just write, John learned how to trust the members. In May, if I have the O2O and he repeats the same learning from last month, so I just realized my VP is not developing. So then I see a problem. That's why I had this to track what were the main learnings that each VP had month by month, like trying to help him to develop in some strengths or what were the needs in terms of the LDA and whatever, many of this. So if you want to take a look and if you want to create something similar to this, I created a bit.ly here, DAO VPs. You can just check it. I think I opened. If I did not open, you can talk to Rafael, and I opened the sheet for you. Right? This is the first thing I really believe it's important for you to understand personally each VP of yours. Then second, track. You go track them. So if once you have them trusting you and understanding where you want to reach as a team, okay, so now you have the objectives, so you need to track them. But before tracking, that is something that I learned working with my VPs, is first, be present while they build the goals. Because if you give them the goals, like, okay, VP A, you have to reach this. It's not their goal, it's yours. And once you have this thing not really matching the expectations the VP had, because I'm, for example, I imagine when I was elected VP, if my LCP came to me like, okay, so you have to reach this, you have to do this. It's just like, okay, so you're not giving me the opportunity for me to create my own rules, creating what I want. So be with them and try to help with them with the construction and all this. But the most important, they have to empower themselves in a way to create their own goals and what they want to achieve. Of course, if they're crazy and they want to achieve things that are not on your strategic plan or on your operational dreaming that you had for your LC, okay, so then you have a problem. But be with them in this first beginning of building the goals. Then it's tracking time. So how did I track my team? I had O2Os with them, and also weekly chats. I never, I only remember a week that I did not talk with any of my VPs. I mean, I had days during my week that I divided to track each VP. So for example, I knew that Monday was supposed for me to track OGV. So OGV, I go on Podio, try to understand all the things that was happening and talk to the VP. On Tuesday, like OGT and on. So every day I had a focus on what to track. And okay, but Jonathan, where did you keep all those trackings and all those goals and everything? I truly recommend you to have all the goals of your LC, of your operations, the goals for your back office, the PM goals, finance goals, in one single tool, in one tracking tool for all the LC. Because once you have lots of sheets and lots of, you know, many archives, you just lose you just lose themselves in terms of, oh, which sheet are we going to use now? Oh, that one. Oh no, this one. So focus in one, and it's the best, because it's your job to care about the data management and analysis for the LC. So if you have lots of tools and lots of things, for example, each VP using his, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. You lose control. So oh, Jonathan, but I have a problem at creating sheets or tools. I don't know how to do it. I I did not have this ability too, because I was working with back office. I was VP back office, and my role was not, it was nothing about having those goals on sheets. I was working with government. That was totally different from, you know, the operation stuff. So I was like this too. I didn't have the ability to create a tool. So I started searching for some examples of what was the best examples the last BOP had in terms of tracking and blah, blah, blah. So I created mine. And I show you here too. You can take a look. This is the one I used for the LC. And basically, this was the first page of the sheet. That was just a comparison from the approvals from 2016 and the approvals from 2017 in terms of, okay, so how are we going to grow in terms of last years? So I had these things, and I mean, you can create and whatever you want, but I have OGX table, ICX table. Okay, are we going to apply for an award? Okay, so let's put all the things in one sheet, in one table, for us to understand everything that we have to do. Oh, what about the cooperation partners? Where do you put them? At the tracking tool, NEC in Brasilia 2017 tracking tool. Oh, and what about the planning? Tracking tool, everything there. So you can check this model by entering this bit.ly also, BS model tracking. You can take a look and after create your own, or I don't know, create an example, delete the things about NEC in Brasilia. Well, okay, so this is the second thing. So you know them, they trust you, you trust them. Second thing, tracking. Okay, so what is the third thing you have to deal and how to lead a team? You need team bonding. You need those moments in your team where sometimes you're not going to be talking about NEC, that you're going to talk about anything but not NEC. I don't know, you can go for a trip, you can travel with them, or you can go to any restaurant to eat with them and drink beer with them and everything. Because this, I want to share some examples and some stories with you. Uh, the AB meetings I had in the beginning of the year, they were terrible, like seriously terrible. I remember one day, two VPs of mine after the EB meeting, they came to me and said, Jonathan, the meeting is really bad because we are not understanding what are you doing. We don't understand why do we have to come and be here like for 2 3 hours and talk about nothing that important. So I realized that I was having my EB meeting just for, you know, personal evaluation or whatever. It was not the main topic. So in the next one, I created the dreaming. So, you know, just like that dreaming you do for conferences, we had a dreaming for our EB meetings in terms of, okay, so what do you want me to deliver? How do you want me to deliver the EB meetings? What are you willing to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What are the things you feel that is really important? So after we had this dreaming about the meeting, it was very nice because everyone could put their opinion about how the EB meeting could be better. So this was very nice because after it, I don't. Our EB meetings reduced from 3 hours to 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. So we were really focused on really working and really talking about the things that really mattered. So I suggest you to do so, like to create a dreaming with your EBs in terms of what are the things that they think it's important to to talk about during the meeting. Second is about working time. This is really important because lots of LCPs sometimes come to me and ask like, oh, I don't feel my be connected. I don't understand what am I doing wrong. Um, I don't see them working the way I wanted them to work and all this. So the answer for all these things is working time. Your AB needs to work together. It's just like if you share the responsibilities about a local committee with another VP, you need to trust him too. You need to talk to that VP and see that he is working. Okay, but oh, my agenda is really difficult. There are times it's really difficult. I know all this. I know all this. I had three VPs that were working 8 hours a day, but still I tried to plan with them the working times to create sessions for the conference, working time to read applications for the team leader board, working time for, I don't know, anything, but I force them to work together for lots of time, because if they do not work, they don't see them like the other VP working, and if they do not see the other VP working, sometimes they will come to you and say, I think I am giving more than VPA. It happened to me in the around July, August. One VP came to me and said, "I feel I'm giving my max, and some VPs are not delivering the best they can." So this is really important for you uh, to have with them working times for them to see each other working. And the letter C, the surprise no agenda meetings. It's just like once you go imagine you're going to a EB meeting, and then they're expecting that boring meeting, or for you to talk about something that is not really important at that time. So you just surprise them with a no agenda meeting. And for many times I brought like pizza, candies, chocolate, ice cream for it, or I don't know, we're not going to have a meeting today, let's go to a bar or anything, because this you cultivate this this relation with all the VPs. So I think this is the things I used to lead my team. So just a very fast recap. The first one, trusting your VPs. But for you to trust them, you need to understand them personally and really see what is behind each person in terms of values, beliefs, and everything. Second, tracking. You go tracking them on a tool or one-to-ones, weekly meetings, and all this. You create your own methodology on how to be the best tracker. I had the weekly meetings, the tool, and also the on Podio. I tracked on Podio too, like in terms of to check the applicants in and approve it, realizations, and all this. On Podio, I was a Podio freak in terms of tracking my VPs and their members. Okay, and the last one, the team bonding. For you to have a very good relation with your EB, you need those extra times. But the extra times does not mean party times. Oh, okay, so I have to go with my EB to every party in the city. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, there might be some fun moments that you live together because this is the experience also is about for you to have friends, but working too. The working times for you to have a purpose on, okay, guys, today we are going to work on the agenda of the conference. Today we are going to work on the developments we want to see in our LC. Whatever, you create the topic. Okay? Moving on, Jonathan, fuck-ups, how to deal with them. I mentioned here 4 fuck-ups that I had during my year as LCP that I wanted to share with you. Those examples and how I managed to deal with them. The first one, I had 2 VPs that they were in love. They started dating in the middle of the term, and well, I wasn't that how can I say, I wasn't that worried about because they were really professionals, but then I started seeing that they weren't that in love anymore, and their performance started to go down. So I called one and to a one-to-one, and I just said this: since it's not changing the way you perform, I'm fine with it. But I started realizing that one of the in love VPs, like his performance was going down, 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 and I brought him to a conversation, and I was like, well, I don't know what's going on with your relation, but you gave me your word that you would stay this year working with me and working for Isaac in Brazil. I'm not blocking any kind of relationship you might have, or if you want to have someone with your life to follow. I mean, the term, it's okay for me. I just want you to be professional, and I just want you to really do your job. Because if you're not delivering your job, but you're delivering, I don't know, a sentimental feeling for another VP, this is wrong to me. Because as your LCP, I need you to focus on what you have to develop and what you have to do. So this was one of the, not a really fuck up that I had, but it might happen to you, or it cannot only be like VPs from your EP, but a VP and a member, or a VP and a team leader, or a VP and someone out of Isaac. It could be possible to lower the performance. And if you lose the best version of your VP in a performance, well, then you have a problem. Then you need to solve this problem, and then you have a fuck up. So, and okay, the second one I had, as I told you before, I had 10 VPs in my AB, and by Q2, more or less, in the middle of Q2, I was at the Americas Congress conference in Peru, and I left a VP to the VP to be, I forgot the word, to be an LCP when I'm out. I forgot the word how to say. Uh, Proxy. Okay, and then I remember that I called her and I was like, okay, so how is everything? And she started crying. She started crying like, oh, I cannot do this anymore. Jonathan, please return. I'm losing control of the EB and all this. Then then I was like, okay, so what is just going on? Then I called another VP and I was like, what is going on with VP, with the proxy? Oh, she's having problems with AB, but I think it's more than that. And I was like, okay, so I need to. I talked to her. I said, hey, I cannot return now. I'm in the middle of the conference, so just wait for me. When I'm back, we will talk. Then I realized she had a depression, and I knew that she was drinking some pills and taking some medicine about it, uh, but only on that time. So for me, again, her performance was going down, was decreasing about a disease, because, and I'm not a specialist. I'm not a professional or a psychologist to know how to deal with depression. So for her, I just said, you need to see a psychologist. I'm so sorry, but I am LCP. I'm not a professional person to deal with the disease. This was one of the cases. And then in September, more or less, another VP came to me crying and said, oh, I'm really sad about my deliverables. I am really sad for the job I'm doing. I want to quit. I don't know what to do. And also I saw that he had depression. So I tried to contact his parents in terms of like to talk to his parents to understand how was the things and all this. Also, I said the same. I cannot deal with this. You need to see a profession. You need a professional. I am not a professional, and I cannot help you more than just listening to you. And this was one of the things that he needed from me. Somehow he was trying to tell me that he wanted me to listen to him. Like every time we had trackings, I did not realize, but he was calling my attention for somehow. And then I had a team days, only me and him. So I invited him to a weekend in my house, just to talk about the area, to talk about the evolutions for the semester and everything. So just having this moment with him, he felt better in terms of, okay, so I'm better now. And it was really cool, like seeing his development during the following weeks. So this was how I deal with the depression. Then I had a VP that he was difficult, I would say, and he started fighting with me. And I remember one day during a general meeting of the LC, like the whole LC, around 60 members together, I was explaining something, and he just raised his hand and said, "Oh, this is wrong." And I don't know, I don't know you, but I hate to be interrupted. It's just like, no, do not do it to me. If you want to talk to me, wait for me to finish, and in the end, we talk. So he started interrupting me in the middle of the general meeting. But that was okay. It was 1, 2 interruptions, but not something really big. And then I don't know, 1 month later, we had an EB meeting, and we were talking about the results of Isaac in Brasilia. Back that time, we were not good. We were like decreasing in relation of 2016. The results were not coming, and we started feeling really nervous about everything. And in the middle of the EB meeting, he told me like, okay, so Isaac in Brasilia is decreasing, or Isaac in Brasilia is not performing good because you are weak and you care about people. You should not care about people. You have to care about results. You have to be more focused on results. You have to you are weak. To all the AB meeting, and all the VPs were there. So I just like stopped for a moment, and I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with this. Like, it's the second time that someone is offending me in a in front of the B or in front of the LC. So I had a conversation with him. I talked to, like, right after the AB meeting, he was leaving, and I was like, okay, I need to talk to you. Come here. Let's talk. And I just told him, if you do not change your behavior, I'm so sorry, but you are not going to belong to this team anymore. Because you need to understand that I am the LCP, and one of the things that I hate is being interrupted, and you did it once. That was okay. But then afterwards, now you're calling me weak and just in front of the EB and saying that all the problems that is happening with Isaac in Brasilia, it's my problems. And okay, I would take this into consideration because, well, in the end, I am the final responsible for the LC, but I will try to understand what is really behind all these no results month we are having. Then I found out that he was like gossiping around, saying that, oh, Jonathan is weak, oh, Jonathan does not deserve to be LCP, Jonathan is, well, only bullshits and blah blah blah. So I decided to fire him because, well, he was not performing. He was just occupying a space of the EB, and I decided to fire him because, I mean, I'm I'm a very good person, but I cannot stand people talking in my backs about myself or calling me weak and whatever, just disrespecting me. And if that person who's disrespecting me is my VP, well, so I just realized that we did not trust each other. So if I don't trust him, he does not trust me. So I don't need to continue with him in my team. So once I don't have this connection of trust and I don't feel comfortable with him, so I just don't follow with it. And by the end, the fourth is that in the beginning of my term, I had 25 quality cases with one LC. It was a very big problem because we sent lots of those EPs to that LC, and they were not prepared for the delivery. So I had lots of cases and lots of things. So no hosts, the project completely different, job descriptions. I mean, I think you may know this about quality cases in the beginning. And this was the biggest fuck up I had because two of the 25, two girls from the group of the 25, because this group of 25 people was a product package of OGV, so they all know each other. So two of them started sending me messages like, I am going to sue Isaac in Brasilia. We are going to the court. You are going to pay for everything that I spent and blah blah blah. So two of these ladies started really giving us a tough time. So she started saying, okay, so if you do not pay what we are asking for, we are going to move a group sue. It's just like the 25 people suing Isaac in Brasilia for the quality case, and, and I just started freaking out with the idea of 25 times going to the to the judge, and we just started collecting material to go against all the things, because it was not our problem. It was not our problem. It was the other LC problem in terms of delivery, but we tried to solve it and together all the things. We try to work like in co-delivery to really manage all the things. By the end, all these 25, just two girls started saying that they wanted to execute the LC. The other 23 people, they were okay with the idea of returning to Brasilia and getting half of the money back. So this was how we solved it. But these two girls, they started really pushing, like, yeah, no, we have to get a lot of money. So in the end, they each girl asked for like $10,000 to $15,000 in just like in revenge or I don't know what. And this was like a big amount of money, because if we lose for the two of the, imagine two of them asking for $10,000. So if they win, it's just like 25 people asking for $10,000, and I didn't have that money to pay all the things. So it was like a clock bomb for everyone. But I realized that there was nothing I could do, like in terms of, okay, so you need to do this. They were already back to Brasilia, and there was nothing else to do. Just talk to her and, okay, let's solve it. And so I talked to my supervisory group and explained all the situation to them, and they were like, okay, Jonathan, so you need first you need a lawyer to help you with all this, but you need to collect material to prove that those girls were not abused, or those girls did not have that much problems, because on the text suing Isaac in Brasilia, they wrote that they were abused or very bad stuff. So we collected all the material, and the lawyer helped us with to win the cases. So by the end, the two girls, we just had a moment to talk and have a deal of paying only the half price of the exchange. Instead of paying $10,000, we paid around I don't know, $300 or $200, the half of the price. Okay, and all right, Jonathan, and what else about leading the team? In the beginning of my journey as LCP, as I mentioned before, I wanted them to feel cared. I want to care about them. I want to have values and to really understand what were the personalities I had in my team. So I had a methodology that I created with AEB, that everyone had a role. Everyone had something to care or something to lead in the LC. So as LCPs, we are responsible to unite the team. And even if there's a lot of different personalities, or I don't know, that one is really extrovert and the other VP is really introvert, how are you going to make them work together to share their best the best version of themselves? So this is a responsibility for an LCP. So how can you define these roles within a team? So there are some methodologies. I just put here 3 for you. You can take a look. But the first one is the empathy methodology. It's just like within a circle, you do a circle with your AB, and you start seeing and you start saying, how do you feel about the happiest moments on your life? So, for example, one of my best moments of my life it was when I got my car driver's license. So it was a very happy moment for me. So during this circle, we started sharing some very good like very good memories about our past and the way we felt on those moments and all. So after we talked about the happiest moments, and then okay, so now we go talk about the saddest moments, and everyone started sharing about the worst moments they had within a team. But why this methodology and why to do this? Because in the end, it doesn't matter the differences on your profile and the differences on your personality. If you are type 3 on an Enneagram, that you are really result freak, or if you type 1, very professional and very methodic person. In the end, everyone will have happy moments and sad moments in the life. And that's how you create this personality bonding between among the team. Because once everyone understands what were the happiest moments and what were the saddest moments that they've lived so far, so they started creating these roles and creating connections among them. The second is how do you create a space where they can truly share their values. And for example, imagine if they have any similar values. Example, one of my values is excellence, and let's suppose two more of the VPs that I had in my team, they also had excellence as a value. So this is really important for me to get these personalities together, and I don't know, to propose a project for them to work together and deliver together. Because once you have these similarities among your team, it's gonna be easier for you to understand how to perform and how to create products and how to create team projects together. And that is the thing. And the third one, the one that I loved the most during my LCP term, is again within a team, we're asking, how do you see your partner VP? Imagine a situation where we have a circle with all the EB, and then you as LCP, you ask, okay, so how do you see VP A? How do you see VP B? And by matching all these things and how people describe yourself, then you come up with a role. And that's what I want to share with you. I took this as one of the most serious things I did in my year as LCP, the roles of my VPs. So here you can check our values. The values we had, it was responsibility, courage, and ambition, and how those values interact with our name. The name of my B was Vector, like vector, and each as in physics. I'm not from the physics. I'm so sorry about it, but I'm not like the mathematics person, but I know the vector has three characteristics: the flow, direction, and intensity. So this was how we defined ourselves as a team. But okay, a team. But as I told you on the slide before, the personality matters. So you need to understand what are the values the team related to the roles they have as a person. So for example, I have Faber, my VP OGTGE. His role in the team was energy. So everything that I needed about, okay, so I need a session about energy. To whom am I going to talk with? To Faber, because he represents the energy of my team. Okay, so I need someone who is really resilient and has a very good sense of resilience. Who am I going to talk with? To Amina. And I had for each VP of mine the connection with his value of his role within a team. By the end of the year, these roles get to we created the last agenda for our last conference, all based in our values, in our roles. So, for example, each VP had a time to perform a 1 hour and a half session about themselves, about energy, about vulnerability, about care, about union, about ambition, purpose, and all this. And for sure, that was the best conference we had during the year, because we felt so connected with the LC and the members, and in the end, everyone was like, "Yeah, I know your role. I know your role. I know what you are. You are the energy of the team. You are the union of Isaac in Brasilia. You are the ambition of Isaac in Brasilia." So this was how I started, caring about their experiences in terms of their personality too. I can share with you some other ideas afterwards, um, but I think that's it. And to finalize and go to the end of the chat, then I can answer some questions if you have. Okay, some tips as LCP, guys. Expo every day, every day. If you don't, it's just like you open your computer or you open your cell phone. The first website you go is Expo. You need to check how your LC is doing about applications. You need to check how your LC is doing about contacting the people who applied. The process time, how much time they're taking, how much time they're not working. You need to solve those problems fast. And to solve those problems fast, you need to understand what problems are. And those problems you just see if you check every day. Tip number 2, tell your LC how passionate you are about Isaac, how passionate you are about being an LCP. So my recommendation is all Isaac Way sessions is on LCP. Do not give a session about Isaac Way to your VP. I try to control. I did not make all the sessions throughout the year, but because I wanted them also to feel the energy about about talking about Isaac. But whatever, I just wanted them to feel the how to express about Isaac. But as LCP, you are the how can I say, you are the owner of the Isaac way. So you need to be responsible for not all but some, or the most the most number of sessions about Isaac way, because this is how you show how passionate you are and how you can call all your members to work with you. Number 3, trust your VPs, and then they will trust you. Only after they feel this trust coming from a leader, they will start working and giving their best version. If they do not trust, I'm sorry, but they are not going to deliver the best they can. I tell you this because I had examples in my team that in the beginning, I thought that I had a very good relation with some of the VPs, but then I just realized our relation was not that good. They were just faking it or something. So I started to really trying to understand and to trust, trying to trust them and to build trust with me. So after we had this, it was awesome. The best relation I had with us. Number 4, this is a sentence that I really like, that is, falling is a part of a bird learning how to fly. So if a VP falls or do not deliver something, do not just quit or say, okay, I'm out, I don't want to work with this VP anymore. No, falling is a part of this learning, of anything. And then you are the person that has to be passionate about development and all this. So if somehow a VP of yours falls, you need to help him to stand up in terms of, okay, so you had a planning, that planning was not really good, the month was terrible, you did not achieve your results. You're not going to throw up all this information, bad informations on them, because they already know they sucked on that deliverable. They already know this. Like we are all we are all audits. We can see where we are doing good and where we are doing bad. So you need to be there with them to help them in on how to learn fast. So this is something I always talk to my AB. Fall fast and learn faster, because once we know how to what we want to achieve and how we want to do, we do it with passion, and we need to sometimes we are not 100% correct on everything we do, but fall fast to learn faster. And number 5, this is the question I want to propose to end the chat. Are you being your best version for each VP? This is different from asking if you're being your best version for yourself, or if you're being your best version for your EB team. Sometimes you need to understand that an LCP needs to be the best version for each VP, because as I told you, for example, here, each of my VPs had a different personality. They had a different role in the team. So I needed to change myself and to adapt to myself to be my best version for each VP. So this is something that it was really important, and something that I think it was the most, the most important, to answer this with 100% sure that you are being the best version for each VP of yours. Okay, I think that's it. I talked too much about the experience and lots of things about being LCP, but once again, as I told you in the beginning, being LCP is awesome. Is awesome. It's one of the best experiences I had on this 5 years of Isaac. But also, it is really challenging, and you need to be able to adapt yourself and want to adapt yourself in terms of leading a team. But I guess with all the things I showed you here, you can get some ideas on how well you're doing with your AB teams and on. So thank you very much for your time. I think it's late in Mexico. It's late here in Brazil. It's 2 in the morning, but I really love talking about my experience as LCP, to inspire people to move on fuck ups and to move on problems and to celebrate the good times too. Thank you very much for everyone. And if you have any doubts, I'll be here few minutes more. And that's it. Just thank you so much for the opportunity. And if you want to talk to me on private, on WhatsApp, Rafael can give you my number for us to talk a bit more. Thank you very much, guys. See you. And I hope you have the best year as LCP. Thank you so much. Gracias.
So thank you, John. Thank you so much for being here with us. It was such a privilege have you facilitating us with us. It was really, really good. We really enjoy it. I hope this session can help you guys to improve your management and improve your LCP term. And it's this, guys. Now I'm going to send you a link for an NPS, so you can evaluate the content of the session of the NEC, and then we can work on improvements for the next ones. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. It was really good. We started really well with this session of team management, and don't forget that the next weeks we have more, and you can send me your feedbacks by mail, and please use the NPS for that. Penny is going to send you on the WhatsApp group. Okay, so it's basically this. Thank you so much for being here, and any doubts you can contact me. Okay, see you soon, and that's it. Have a good night.